This is the Relationship Capital Podcast, where we talk to the top thought leaders and practitioners from around the world about how to grow your most valuable resource, your network. I'm your host, Adrian Chenault, and Relationship Capital is brought to you by your friends at Contact Mapping, the #1 app for building your network. Hey everybody, it's Adrian from Contact Mapping, and I am so happy because I have Tara Wilson with me here. She is a phenomenal networker and just somebody who has a big, big heart. So thank you so much for coming over and doing this.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So we're at GoPro Recruiting Mastery here in Las Vegas. We've been learning over the last couple of days, and I just think Tara has such a great way of being. I know so many people in her team who just love her, and she has such strong relationships. And so I just want to hear from you, what is it that you do, and what can people learn from the way that you build relationships? What's a tip that you would offer to somebody looking to build relationships in a better way?
Well, it's kind of, I feel like I have an unfair advantage because I've just learned from so many greats that were speaking here this weekend, and trust, commitment, and care. I'm old school. I mean, some of them, as you guys are, you and your dad. But I came into the industry back when there was no social media, so I learned how to do it offline.
Yeah.
And relationships are everything. And I actually had a unique situation where all of my family was already in my first company, and all of my friends said no.
Yeah.
So I had to do it really with a lot of cold market. So what I realized, and this is probably, I was trying to think earlier, what I was going to say is you have to become a person of value.
Yes.
And so even though I didn't have a lot of people that I could go to, in fact, the 3 people that in my first company that helped me build the majority of my team, I didn't even know they were existing in the world. Like, they were literally all cold.
Total strangers.
Right. And so what I did is I learned everything I could. I learned about the products. I learned about the industry. I learned about the content. I became an expert.
Yeah.
So that when I did ask people, like, who do you know who? Hey, who do you know who wants to get healthy? Who do you know that's an entrepreneur?
Right.
And someone would partner with me, I knew how to help them.
Yeah.
I knew how to say, hey, here's this opportunity. I can help you get to results.
Yeah.
What are you looking for? Obviously, you kind of interview people. What are you looking for? Why are you looking for it?
Right.
What do you want? Time? Do you want money? You want flexibility, right?
Yeah.
And I felt like a sense of value is important to people because not everyone has the time or the initiative to go out and be an expert.
Yeah.
And they rely on people like us that will.
Yeah.
And I do that now on Facebook as well. So
Right.
most of my enrollments, I'd say over the last probably 4 years now, have been people that are just watching me, following me, because I'm constantly giving value, free training, free motivation, tips, and leading by example, showing what I'm doing. I'm at a meeting, I'm in a 101, I'm on a plane, I'm going to teach, I'm on stage, I'm reading this book.
Yeah.
I feel this way, and people find that you're creating a relationship with them that you don't even know is happening, right?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I have a relationship with Jim Rohn. He's not even alive, right? I love the guy, right? And anyone can do that. And I know a lot of people will watch this and think, well, it's easy for you because you've been in the industry, 12 and a half years,
right.
You're successful, etc. But it's always about the journey too.
Yep.
People love authenticity. Hey, I just got into network marketing, I just started a business, and I just got told 30 no's, and oh my gosh, I'm gonna keep going, right?
Yep.
That's a story, that's valuable.
Yep.
Because people say, oh, well shoot, if you're having that, and you keep going, you have a great attitude, or hey, I learned this, or hey, I just had my first success, or my first victory, then people will connect with that. It's authentic. So you can be value to everyone, no matter what level you are, by just sharing what you're doing, what you're learning, how you're growing, what you're overcoming, the fears you're facing, to be able to connect. That person says, oh, I felt the same way about you and you're surviving. Can you show me?
Yeah.
Can you work with me?
Yeah.
And of course, as you become an expert, the value gets bigger and bigger.
Yeah, and I think you made a great point that some of the things that you described, like just becoming a student of your company, of the comp plan, of some of these things, and being able to demonstrate that you're able to add value as a supporting person for somebody who's really looking to grow, and that you're able to help them. That's something that anybody can do, right? We can all be a student. You don't have to be a PhD. You don't have to be any of these things. You just have to be willing to work and willing to show up and prove that to others that you're willing to do that, and that's becoming that person of value. So I think that's huge.
Yes, and it's a decision, it's a skill set. but it's so, like you said, anyone can download the comp plan.
Yeah.
Anyone can go read every page. Like, I can't believe how many people like that I talk to just in my team, like, have you're asking me that question, which just shows me you haven't read every word on the website. You want to make a 6 or 7 figure income,
right,
and you haven't read every FAQ, every product description, what product technology. You don't know what value or benefit this is going to be to your customer. You got to learn that. It's immersion. I learned that from Tony Robbins. Everything we've ever learned in life, we learn by immersion.
Yeah.
So that's a core principle of mine, is what I do, is every time I get involved in something, I learn as much as I can about it, because then I'm a better valuable to my team or to the future prospects, customers, etc.
Yeah. And you have developed and recruited some really powerful people. Like it's not like a single person. Like I know so many people in your team who are huge leaders in their own right, and I think that doesn't happen by accident. And so talk a little bit about how you have been able to either attract great people that were already great, or people that you recognize big potential in and help them along the way. Like how has that, looking back on some of those great people that you have been able to bring into your team and build together with, how can you distill some of what worked in creating those relationships?
Well, want me to name names? Can I name one?
Of course,
okay,
yeah.
So one of them is Rachel Jackson. She
Yeah.
was a speaker here this weekend and just hit a big rank in our company. When we started working together almost 9 years ago, she had very little success in network marketing, a little bit in internet marketing, but she was hungry. She was this 26-year-old, this on fire. And I remember our first conversations, because she was actually on my 7th level.
Wow.
Yeah, and came in through a 3-way, someone in said, hey, there's, you got this opportunity. And she said, okay, well, show me a woman that's making $10,000 a month or more. And I had been in the company 2 months and I was already at $10,000 a month. So by actually having created my own success,
yeah,
again, she knew that she could trust that I probably could teach her. So I remember our first few phone calls, it was like, teach me how to crawl, walk, and run. Tell me exactly what to do and I will do anything you say, even if it sounds stupid. And so I did. I said, this is our first step. Go make a list of 200 people. She'll call me back a few hours later. Let's call them all. I don't care what you have to say, because some people might just be like, hey, give me your credit card. Some people I say, hey, you might want to sit down with. And then get them to watch this video.
Yeah.
And the first week, and she has an incredible work ethic, and she's very likable and has, great, relationships that she had been building in her life, which helped her.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was funny because the people she put me on the phone with was her mother, her father-in-law, her friend from high school, her friend from college, the dog groomer in town that she was good friends with, the breeder. And these were people that she actually knew. Was her network. It wasn't any superstars. And of course, she's put very many superstars in, but she put so many people on the phone with me the first week, I lost my voice. I physically lost my voice.
That's awesome.
And so, when, what is it, Napoleon Hill says, luck is when opportunity meets preparation. I was prepared for somebody like that, and she was the best student. So together we ran, and then of course she has just been a dynamo ever since.
Wow, that's
so
really cool.
It was an honor to even get the chance.
Talk to so many people on her behalf, you lost your voice. That's that's a good story.
It's not a joke. I physically lost my voice. Yeah, we did so many calls.
Oh, that's so cool. I love that. And Rachel, she's great. What a cool combo.
Right.
So, last question. Any sort of parting thoughts, just in terms of what do you think is something that has allowed you to achieve the success that you have achieved, and how you can impart that to others?
So one of my favorite concepts that is always my nugget when I get interviewed. It's like my favorite thing because it's actually original. I think a lot of, especially new people, they think they just have to drag people to information.
Right.
Like, oh, if they just watched this video, if they just came to this presentation. And I look, you've heard the saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
Yes.
Well, let's say the water is a presentation or your recorded overview or a tool.
Right.
People are just like, I got 30 people to the tool and nobody signed up, nobody bought it. And I said, because your job as a network marketer or as an entrepreneur is not to get people to the tool. It's, you can drag a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. So the job as a network marketer is to make the horse so thirsty it begs you for the water. Yes. And that you get by talking to people, asking them about themselves. Customers and distributors, people out there are tuned into one radio station, WIIFM, what's in it for me? So you have to ask them questions, and then when you feel like you understand, like, oh, this person may want more income, or this person may want more time, or better health, or whatever it is, then you say, I've got something and this is why. And then they're like, well, show me what you found a solution to a problem that I already had?
Yes.
Great. That's the key, is getting people to see, because I don't have a fancy clothes.
Yeah.
When people see that they have a problem, that they already had, and you have the solution, and they see that, they close themselves.
That is drop mic. That's awesome. That's really, really good and 100% true. So thank you so much. I really enjoyed it.
Me
you
too.
are awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Take
All
care.
right.